Peace and love. Welcome back. Today we're going to do a reading for the divine feminine energy. I want to see where we are, how we're healing, how we're holding up. What's in store for us for the next coming weeks, months, whenever you watch this reading. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance. Thank you for your healing. Thank you, angels, for your protection. Thank you, Creator, for the gift of life. Thank you, ancestors, for your strength and your courage. Thank you, guides, for your wisdom, your knowledge, your direction. I give thanks for life. I give thanks for everything that's bestowed upon me, all the beauty and the wonder that exist. Let's see where we are energetically. I hope you're doing well and taking care of yourself, that you listen to your intuition, that you're allowing yourself to move slowly and not feel rushed by the world. Spirit, where are we energetically, or what message do you have for us as we move forward through the next few days, the next few weeks, the next few months? What message is important for us, or what would you like to share with us? I have a couple cards. Maybe just one. Let's see. Signs. Instincts are the message from the inner divine. So Spirit wants you to pay attention to your intuition. Spirit wants you to slow down so that you're able to hear and able to see and able to discern the signs that come your way, and to know when things are signs and when things aren't signs too. Radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next. So the spirit of allowing, not forcing things, not rushing them, not trying to maneuver or manipulate circumstances, but allowing things to open up in their own way, allowing things to open up in a natural way. Okay. Let's get rid of these. What else is important for us, Spirit, as we move forward, as we continue on our healing journey, as we open ourselves up, as we start to allow things to happen, as we listen to our instincts, and as we open ourselves up to the signs that you have for us, we start to discern the proper way and the proper environments we should be in, the proper people we should be around, things that are good for our spirit, things that are healing for us. How do we move into a spirit of trust? All right. So we have community on the bottom. So here Spirit is saying that we want to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with people that love us, people that care about us, people that care about our journeys, and in turn we do the same for them. But a reciprocal energy. We should be in communities that offer a reciprocal energy. We should deal with people that offer a reciprocal energy. If you're dealing with someone and they're not able to return, if you're giving in a way and they're not able to return, that relationship is not reciprocal. It's you sharing your energy, which is beautiful, and that's what we want to continue to do that. We don't want to close ourselves off. But when it comes to intimate relationships and day-to-day relationships, we also want to make sure that we're receiving positive energy, positive feedback, so that we can continue to heal and nurture ourselves. We don't want to leave situations drained. We don't want to walk away from people and we feel drained. We don't want to leave our job constantly feeling drained, going home constantly feeling drained. We don't want to foster relationships and connections with people, with partners that don't offer any type of reciprocal energy, but they're not giving. It's not a giving and equal giving and receiving. When you're giving constantly to someone and they're not giving, that's draining. That's an energy that can drain you, and ultimately it's very detrimental and harmful to your health. The delight card is here. So Spirit is saying to pay attention to the small things. Just delight in the small parts of life. It could be as simple as going for a walk. It could be as simple as taking a nice hot bubble bath. It could be as simple as bringing out your journal and writing, or whatever brings you happiness. The small things. It could be just getting yourself a new dress, or whatever it may be, whatever it is for you. When you delight in the small things, when you find joy in the small things that happen, you're able to open yourself up to the larger things, which would be the signs that Spirit sends to you. Spirit says with this delight, these small delights in life, the energy of fulfillment is there. So we want to start to condition ourselves to be fulfilled, not by the large things in life where we feel like we have to have a certain type of job or have a certain type of paycheck. Spirit is saying that the fulfillment comes with delighting in the small things, and a lot of times these things exist in nature. So it goes back, like I said, to taking a walk. It goes back to maybe going to the beach if you haven't been to the beach in a while, visiting the river if you haven't been to the river, connecting with your pets if you have pets, or going outside and just kind of looking at the trees, looking at the birds, just things like that. Just being delighted by what is already here for us, that grows or that exists in abundance. Having a fresh meal, taking care of your body by nourishing your body with a delicious meal, using fresh foods and things that grow from the earth, giving thanks to Mother Nature, Mother Earth for those things. In turn, that's reciprocal when receiving that energy. So we should always be in, everything should be, we should look for a sense of reciprocity in everything. So when we're receiving from the earth, we're giving to the earth by just giving thanks, or by planting seeds, or just planting seeds of intention too, but also giving thanks as well. You walk out the house, you say thank you. We wake up in the morning, you say thank you. You give thanks for everything that you come in contact with that's healing to your spirit. So the Most High wants us to just kind of always be in the spirit of thanksgiving, always be delighted by the small things, and in that way, we're open to the signs that might come our way. What other energies do you have to share with us? Spirit, what other energies do you have to share with us today? As we're learning to open ourselves up, as we're learning to delight in the small things, as we're learning to foster healing connections, and to all right. So we have the Moon card here, which means that it's a time to, the Moon for me is a time to go within. It's deep inner reflection. It's intuitive information and insights. But it's also the ebb and flow of life. It's cyclical in nature, which means sometimes we see things that are clear, but with the moon energy, it means that we're not seeing things as clear as they should be, or things aren't presented to us in a clear fashion. And sometimes it's necessary because it teaches us to utilize parts of ourselves that we don't use on a normal basis, which would be our intuition, that inner knowing, that heart space knowing, that using your higher knowledge, your higher self. And it's a certain stillness that's required when we're dealing with the energies of the moon. It can be very uncomfortable, the energies of the moon, because things can be deceptive around us. We can be dealing with deceptive energies, deceptive people. And what the moon tells us is that things will not be brought to light in the way that you think they should be or that you want them to be. It means that you have to access that information differently, and that you have to step back from how you see things and quiet yourself, and the information will be brought to you in that way. And it might take time. The moon card, the moon goes through cycles. You know, sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's not. We have the new moon and we have the full moon. The idea of the darkening and the idea of the light, you know. And even with the light, it's still that energy. It's not the sun where it's pure illumination, where you can see exactly what needs to be done, that aha moment. It's still that aha moment, but it's a different way. It's on the inward. So if we don't take the time to sit in that moon energy and sit in that darkness and sit with those quiet, subtle energies, we're not going to be able to discern what Spirit wants us to see, because this only comes to us in the stillness, in a certain type of peacefulness. And it's almost like a peacefulness in not knowing, or peacefulness in something that's extremely uncomfortable. Not because we like it, because we don't like it, but because we know that we will eventually get out of it. We will eventually find the answers to it. The Six of Swords underneath it says that we are moving forward. We are moving forward. Sometimes we're moving forward and we can't see it and we can't feel it either. But Spirit says with that Six of Swords, that's a mental energy. It says that you're putting yourself in the right place mentally. You're doing the right things mentally, emotionally, you know, with the moon, but also mentally with the mind. We're putting our minds in the right place where we know that we have to move out of a certain situation. But the Six of Swords comes up, it means that you know you have to go. It means that you're looking for safe terrain, or you're looking for healing, mental healing. It means that you've come out of some sort of chaos, and that you're in the process of healing. And the healing usually requires movement. This is a card of movement. This is a card of staying still. This is, I know I need to go. Things have been clouded for me for a while, but Spirit is telling me that I need to go, because I'm using that spiritual intellect here with the Six of Swords. Nine of Wands, Nine of Swords, Three of Swords. Heavy, heavy energy here. Difficult energy to come out of. That's why the moon is here. The moon is saying that this energy, you can't come out of it your normal way. You have to sit still. You have to sit quiet with the moon. And you have to face things that you don't want to face. The Nine of Wands tells us too, you see this bird here defended itself behind this branch. It's saying that you've gone through a battle, that you've gone through something serious energetically, that you are healing from it, and that you're standing firm in it. It could be anything. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be your spiritual practice, your spiritual beliefs. It can be the way you look at the world. It can be how you feel about yourself. Spirit says that you have fought the fight, and that you're standing firm, and you're asked to continue to stand firm. This is the card to say continue to stand firm, because there's victory here. There's a victory at the end of all of this, even though that nine is an energy that's kind of heavy, carrying some heavy energies. It means that you're working through them. So Spirit would want you to continue on that journey that mental journey, that spiritual mental journey as you're moving forward, the Six of Swords, and as you're coming out of that moon energy, or you're sitting in that moon energy. So the Nine of Wands is a card that it knows that you're experiencing something that's difficult and that you're healing from it, that you're trying to heal from it. The nine means that you are there, that you've gotten there, but you just need to stand there a little bit longer, hold on a little bit longer, because that victory is right there on the other end. It just takes time. Nine of Swords, this is a heavy energy as well. This is up at night. This is not knowing the outcome. This is fretting over things that you can't control. This is thinking the worst of any possible situation. This is that mental energy where you've created a prison for yourself. Not the Eight of Swords, but where it's detrimental. It becomes really detrimental in the nine. But also the nines are moving closer to the tens, which means that you're still moving out of this energy, but it's something that's keeping you fearful. This is a card of being afraid. It's something you're afraid of here. It's something you're afraid of. Even with this bird hiding behind this wand, it's something this bird is afraid to face about itself, or about its environment, or about, it could be anything. It's defending yourself, but it's also hiding. And the Nine of Swords is the card of fear. And the Moon card brings up fears too. The Moon card it's not the nicest card all the time. It's nothing to be afraid of, but it's a card that tells us that there are things around us that we can't see, that are hidden from us, that could be harmful to us. And it is important for us to discern that information. Spirit needs us to discern that information now for our safety, for our spiritual growth, for our healing, for our hearts. And so the Nine of Swords to me is being in a fearful place mentally, spiritually. These are spiritual cards. So it's a spiritual battle for me with the Nine of Swords energy. It's tossing and turning. It could be dreams, having dreams at night, being afraid of going to sleep, being afraid of what you might dream about. And then having those things repeat daily and hiding from it too. And that's what the Moon card is saying, that you can't hide from it. You have to confront whatever that energy is. We have Three of Swords here. Powerful energy too, sorrow and heartbreak. This is parting ways type of energy. This means that this is sorrowful energy. This can be a relationship that is lost. This can be a friendship that is lost. This can be anything that brings pain, serious pain to the heart space, to this area right here. In here as well, because we're dealing with the Swords energy. This can also be dealing with people that hurt us. That makes me think about that. Dealing with people that hurt us too. And being afraid here to tell them that they hurt us with this Nine of Wands energy, where we're standing firm, but we're also hiding too. Let's just get that with this card. We're standing firm, we're moving, and we're trying to heal, but we're still dealing with situations and energies that are detrimental to our spirit and detrimental to our health and our healing. And so this is a painful energy here with this Three of Swords, especially when we're dealing with this Nine of Swords too. There's a truth you need to confront here. There's a truth that you need to confront about you, about your environment, about someone else. It can be how you've treated somebody. It could be how you've treated yourself. A lot of times it's how you treated yourself. Because we try to treat ourselves, if we're treating ourselves good, then we're treating others good as well. That's when we want to look for that reciprocal energy. When we want to put good energy out there, we want to receive it as well. But if you're not treating yourself well, if you're not treating yourself the right way, if you're not listening to the signs, the Spirit is saying they're putting signs out there for you. The Most High is giving you signs. Your angels are giving you signs. And they're saying, we realize that things are difficult right now. We realize that you don't want to acknowledge or address what's going on, but there's something happening in your life that is causing you major heartbreak, major sadness. And you need to acknowledge it, and you need to find out what went wrong, and you need to find out a way to make it right, And sometimes in situations you can't make them right if it's dealing with an environment or dealing with another person, but you can make it right on the inside. You can make it right within yourself and within your spirit. And you can get to that point where you said, I've done all I can. I've done all that I could or that I can in a situation. I've treated this person in the best way I feel that I possibly could have. I've done my best in my job, I've tried to show and love this group of friends, and I've tried to show them myself, because that makes me think about this too, this Nine of Wands, this idea that the Spirit is hiding. Being around people and environments keeping you up at night where you can't show yourself too, because the Moon card also deals with shielding and things that are hidden. And those things are harmful to the Spirit too. We don't think about how harmful that is to the Spirit when we have to hide who we are, when we have to constantly tiptoe in certain situations, and we have to present a certain type of image, or we have to put on a facade for other people. It's hurtful. It's not hurtful in that moment when we're doing it because we get the high of doing it. You get the high of feeling like you're a part of something. But in the nighttime, when that Knight of Swords comes up, and the night energy, when that moon is there, and you realize that you're living and that you're doing something false, it's hurtful, it's harmful to the Spirit. And that's what I can say too about the Spirit energy. It talks to us really when we're peaceful and we're quiet. And because we live in a world where we're moving, constantly hustle and bustle, a lot of us aren't listening to our spirits. A lot of us aren't listening to that spirit body. We're not listening, and we're not discerning, and we're not taking in those signs because we're so busy doing and doing and doing. And so that energy will present itself to you if your angels need you to hear it, but it will come to you at night. And what's happening is, because it's the moon, because it's dark, that energy is even scarier than it would be if you allowed yourself to open up to those messages during the day by stilling yourself and pulling yourself back from the world, not living so much in the world, not living so much in the circumstances, not living so much in society, is what they would say, or what I would say, that idea of, having to do what you're meant to do, or what people expect of you. So, Spirit is saying we need to get these messages to you. You're not listening during the day. You're not taking any time to still yourself. I am proud of what you're doing. I am happy that you're trying to heal. I'm hopeful that you'll continue to heal. But since you're not listening to me during the day, since you're not paying attention to me and paying attention to those signs, since you're not, watching what you say, and watching what you say around other people, listening to what they're saying, I'm going to have to give you those signs too, but they're going to come in a different way, and they're going to come when you don't want them. You're going to toss and turn a little bit at night, because I'm going to have to come into your dreams, I'm going to have to come into your dreams and tell you things that you don't want to hear. I'm going to have to show you things that you're not willing to see. I'm going to have to pretty much scare you a little bit, Spirit never wants to scare you to the point of closing you off, but you have to open yourself up, and that goes back to that card earlier with the allowing. The energy of the spiritual energies are only available to us when we allow them to be. And it's allowing, sometimes we think it's simple, but with so much on us, with so many burdens, allowing isn't always simple. Allowing is an act in itself. It's a practice in itself. It's, it's something we have to work on. But it's like this. This is allowing freedom. Freedom in the mind, freedom in the heart space. Allowing things to come to you by not expecting anything. We definitely don't expect anything from others because we don't know what others are going to do. But we can trust that our angels will have our backs. We can trust that our ancestors will have our backs. We can trust that if we're in touch with ourselves, our higher knowledge and our spirit won't lead us in the wrong direction. And so you have to be able to allow it. Allow things to be seen. And that's the thing too, the idea of being in environments where we want to be like this. We don't want to see it. We don't want to acknowledge it. We don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. You know, that idea. I don't want to see it. I don't want to have anything to do with confronting it, you know. And so when we're in that energy of with like that, we're like closed, we're tight. Our bodies are tight. We've closed our hearts off, our heart chakra. We've closed our heart chakras off, you know. Our solar plexus is like this because that's intuitive knowing too, that energy. We're not allowing that energy to be open, you know. We don't trust other people. We don't trust our environments. We don't trust our partners. We don't trust anything. But like I said earlier, life is not meant to be lived by trusting others. We're supposed to trust ourselves. And so when you find yourself in situations like that, it means you're not trusting yourself properly. You're not trusting your intuition. You're not trusting your guides, you know? And so Spirit is saying you have to open yourself up. You have to open yourself up to that energy so that you can discern the signs and so that you can hear the quiet whispers from your angels, so that you can look at a bird and say, oh, look at the movements and say, I saw how that bird did this and did that. Maybe that's what I should do. Or you can see an animal still and you can say, oh, wow, maybe I need to be still like that. Or whatever it may be, however you connect with spirit. I connect through animal energy and I connect through nature spirit. So the river, I talk with the river or the ocean or the birds or the trees. I connect with energy like that. So that's normally what I would do when I'm in a situation where I'm dealing with the Nine of Swords energy. I'm not above dealing with those energies either. We all are on healing journeys. Nobody is above anybody. We're all spirit beings here on healing journeys. And we're trying to heal others too. That's the reciprocal energy. We can't heal others properly if we're not willing to confront and heal ourselves. So that's where we are. Spirit would want us to delight in the small things. That's the beginning. When we start to see the small, Spirit wants us to even see the small things. That's what I'm hearing right now. It's like you're not even seeing the small things. So Spirit wants us to see the small things first. Once we start seeing those small things, and they become even bigger things to us, you know, because they become the most important things. That's the fulfillment. Once we start to understand that our abundance is in this way and not in this way, what we thought or what we think. Spirit is saying that we need to change the way we think, change the way we feel about abundance, change the way we feel about riches, all that stuff. Because it's saying it exists in the simple delights of life. That's where it's at. That's where the signs are. That's where the signs are. That's where the healing is. That's when you come across this community. And I'm not saying you're going to be out there talking to the birds. I do, you know, but you might not do that. You might not be out there, you know, singing to animals. But you start to connect with the right people. You start to draw that energy to you. We're energetic bodies. We're moving. But we also radiate energy. We're sending out signals with our energy. And so when you're in that space of delighting in the small things and being fulfilled by them, you'll bring other people to you that also feel that same way and also think that same way. That's where the true energy is. That's the true reciprocal energy of life. That's the giving and take. So. All right, well, hope it was helpful for you. It certainly was helpful for me. Any reading that I do is for anybody. You know, even if this is a divine feminine reading, this is also for masculine energy. It's just energy. We all embody masculine and feminine energy within ourselves. We all need to work through those energies. We're all looking for balance. So it was healing in this energy for me. No matter what part of the journey you're on, we're always healing. Like I said earlier, nobody is above healing. Nobody is above it. Nobody is above anybody else either. It's important to know that. Because like I said, we all are spirit. And so we leave this planet and we move on. And we move on to the next place, the next stop on the journey. Not the stop, but the next stop for that moment. Some people go this way, some go that way, whatever you believe in, you know. But ultimately, we're put here to work through lessons. We're put here to heal ourselves. And we're put here to prayerfully heal others if we can. Until next time, okay? Take care.